And here is the Writer's Almanac for Tuesday. It's the 3rd of September, 2019. It's the birthday of Sally Benson, born in St. Louis, 1900. Best known for her novel Meet Me in St. Louis, which was made into a movie musical in 1944, and also wrote many, many stories and sketches for the New Yorker magazine. It's the birthday of the youngest woman ever to get the Booker Prize, Kiran Desai, born in New Delhi in 1971. Came to Columbia University in New York City, did the MFA program there. At the age of 27, her first novel came out, Hullabaloo in the Guava Orchard. Got great reviews. But for the next novel, she wanted to do something really wide, sweeping, and ambitious. She got an advance to write this novel and went off to write it. She wrote and she wrote and she wrote. At one point, she had 1,500 pages of notes for it. It was taking her years. The money from the advance was running out. She was impoverished. She moved to a little rented room in Brooklyn with a lot of roommates, then moved to Mexico where the cost of living was lower. In all, the second novel took her 8 years to do, and it turned out to be a masterpiece. The Inheritance of Loss, published in 2006, won the Booker Prize. She's still an Indian citizen, but she's a permanent resident of this country, lives mostly in New York City. Kiran Desai, who said, "Writing for me means humility. It's a process that involves fear and doubt, especially if you're writing honestly." It's the birthday of Malcolm Gladwell, born Fareham, England, 1963, son of a Jamaican psychotherapist, a British engineering professor, raised in Canada, became a staff writer at the New Yorker magazine in 1996, and got $1 million advance for his first book, published in 2000, The Tipping Point. 2 more bestsellers followed, Blink and Outliers. Malcolm Gladwell, who said, "The hope with Tipping Point was it would help the reader understand that real change was possible. With Blink, I wanted to get people to take the enormous power of their intuition seriously. My wish with Outliers is that it makes us understand how much of a group project success is." And it's the birthday of Sarah Orne Jewett, born 1849, South Berwick, Maine, wrote stories about the ships and fishermen and the coastal villages of 19th century Maine. Best-known book is a short novel, The Country of the Pointed Firs. The writings of Sarah Orne Jewett, now considered by many scholars to be very early lesbian literature, heavily focused on female bonds and companionships. And Sarah Orne Jewett lived for most of her adult life with Annie Adams Fields, who was 15 years older. Sarah Orne Jewett, who said, "God would not give us the same talent if what were right for men were wrong for women." Here's a poem for today by Robert Frost, his poem about a farmstead whose house had burned down, the need of being versed in country things. The house had gone to bring again to the midnight sky a sunset glow. Now the chimney was all of the house that stood, like a pistol after the petals go. The barn opposed across the way, that would have joined the house in flame, had it been the will of the wind, was left to bear forsaken the place's name. No more it opened with all one end for teams that came by the stony road to drum on the floor with scurrying hoofs and brush the mow with the summer load. The birds that came to it through the air at broken windows flew out and in, their murmur more like the sigh we sigh from too much dwelling on what has been. Yet for them the lilac renewed its leaf, and the aged elm, though touched with fire, and the dry pump flung up an awkward arm, and the fence post carried a strand of wire. For them there was really nothing sad, but though they rejoiced in the nest they kept, one had to be versed in country things not to believe the Phoebes wept. Robert Frost's poem, The Need of Being Versed in Country Things. And that's the Writer's Almanac for September the 3rd, 2019. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.